for being here. Thank y'all for being here. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. It's so important. Now, I had my whole goal is right now as I get started. Come on in, man. Double tap hit the like button, man. Come on in, man. First time podcast. Y'all see that fire thumbnail, man. First person in the chat gets shouted out. Now I had my whole plan was to, oh man, do my head right. I tell you, boy, the studio. Welcome. Happy Free Fry Friday. Free Fry Friday. Mega Friday, man. Mega Friday, man. We back. Let them know we back one time. Man. One time for the mind, man. Perfect time in podcast with the blast. Double tap. First one in the chat gets shouted out, man. Woo, top of the mid-morning podcast by a minute. In it for the minute, man. Double tap this live stream, man. How's everybody doing this morning, man? Had to get my afros. Where you at, man? Had to get my afro right, man. Get the lights right. Get everything right, man. Number one podcast in the land. Double tap hit the like button as you come in, man. Like, share, subscribe. It's your boy, Perfect Time Podcast, back with the blast, man. Come on in. We're going to have a talk, man. Mega Friday, man. Free Fries Friday. We talking about Charlie Kirk, what we know, who done it, on a Trump forward Magdalena conservative channel. Good morning to you. Just getting the nappy, happy, snappy all together, man. Getting the nappy, happy, snappy all together. We're going to get the introduction in too, man. We're going to get the first person in the chat gets a shout out. First person in the chat, 13-1, go ahead and hit the like button. It's free. What I need you to do, everybody right now watching, hit the like button. Let me know that you're here for support, man. If you're MAGA, let me know right now, man. What side you're on, man. Who was that first in the chat this morning? Jacqueline Perry said hello. First in the chat. Good morning to you, Jacqueline Perry. Good morning. Double tap hit the like button, everybody, as you come in. Let's have a good debate this morning. Let's have a good debate and a healthy discussion this morning. Let's keep it going. Number one chat, number one podcast. How's all my chat members, my podcast members? Oscar in the building. Mary Jane in the building. Oscar, be on task. Come on, everybody. Come on in. We're going to have a good conversation this morning, man. We got to have a talk because it's the end of the week. It's like a wrap-up. It's an end of the week wrap-up. I like my thumbnail. I like my title, A Symphony of Clues. So hopefully we get through everything. We might not be able to get through everything, but I believe a symphony of clues is the proper nomenclature. We have a symphony of clues, and I'm going to ask you toward the end of the podcast, I'm going to ask you several things. I'm going to ask you to like the podcast by double clicking the screen or hit the thumbs up button. But after we go through sequentially the symphony of clues, I'm going to ask you, what do we know now and where are we at on Friday? On Friday, we got to have a recap. We need to ask each other, where are we at? How do we feel about things? Are we feeling good about the information as it's come out? What is real? What is not real? This is what leadership should look like. What is real? What is not real? What can we discern to be believable, not believable? Because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. This is why I come up with the symphony of clues. Every day there's a new video. Right now, if you go on YouTube, new perspectives, new videos. I heard someone just filed a FOIA request to get the complete video. So that means we will have even more clues added to the symphony as of next week. Right now, this is what we have today, and it's already an orchestra. It's already an orchestra, a symphony of clues, a myriad of what happens. Now, you know what I did today? Back at it like a crack at it, automatic like a fomatic, built for tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Time Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last. We're going to get this done real fast. You know what I did today? We have been talking about Discord, right? So you know what I did? I went and I found Tyler Robinson's Discord messages. So we're going to actually read the Discord messages to the argument of what is happening, what is going on with this symphony of clues. Because if you go to the narrative of the lone wolf, and I'm going to give a little bit away right now. I'll give a little bit away right now. If you look at my podcast yesterday at my thumbnail, you already know where I'm going. I am leaning into Kash Patel, Donald Trump's DOJ being correct. I have faith in Kash Patel. I have faith in my president. I have faith in the DOJ and the FBI in their investigation. And I believe Kash Patel is going to do a good job. I think Kash Patel was a good pick because of I look at Kash Patel and I see someone who has the ability to do a good job, but that's not just it. Kash Patel is not just competent, because competency is not enough most times. You have to have this will and tenacity. And what I see with Kash Patel is he wants to prove something, not only to himself, but to his president and to the American people. And I'm very happy to have Kash Patel at the FBI and Dan Bonadingo. So I am leaning into the Kash Patel investigation. And I do believe if you look at what we found so far with Kash Patel and what we see in Dallas and what you see in my thumbnail, then you have to be honest. But I'm going to ask you, we're going to go through the symphony events. I want to know from you. I want to know. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of different ideas of what's going on, and I understand. That's why I call it a symphony of clues. And I'm asking right now, what do we know? What actually do we know on, what can we say definitively that we know on Friday? What can we say definitively we know on Friday as actual fact? We know that Tyler Robinson has been arrested. We know that Joshua Jan used a high-power rifle in the Dallas ICE shooting, and he had inscribed bullet cases. We know Tyler Robinson used a high-powered rifle with inscribed bullet cases. The thing about today's conversation is we no longer have to talk about this in this isolated way, because now we have multiple scenarios. Like my thumbnail yesterday, I pointed to the fact, what's the brother's name? Thomas, with the shooting of Donald Trump in the ear. Again, on the roof with a high-powered rifle. We don't know if the rifle casings was inscribed because, again, that story went by so quickly because it was during the presidential election and the Democrats were trying everything to stop Donald Trump from becoming president, as they should. There's nothing wrong with a vigorous campaign and a vigorous debate. But what a lot of us wanted, MAGA and on both sides of the aisle, is an understanding of what took place that day on that rooftop. I've talked about Secret Service temporary employees. We saw ourselves just like with Tyler Robinson. So we're going to go over the symphony of events. Candace Owens linking all these suspicious. One of the most recent clues in this symphony is that Candace Owens found a video of young men, just like with the shooting of Donald Trump, who saw Tyler Robinson on the roof. If you recall, with the shooting of Donald Trump, people saw the guy on the roof for like 10 minutes, 20. It was the oddest chain of events. But is it so eerily odd now that we have the same sequence of events, right? Do you guys recall there was a video, even just like with Tyler Robinson and Charlie Kirk, there was a video of people, and after, I thought it was so very odd that we never talked about what really happened. Video came out of people telling the police. If you recall how people were alerted, how the police, number one, the FBI Secret Service never knew about the shooter on the roof. And then how the police knew is that regular everyday people videotaped the gentleman on the roof, and he had been there for a while. Then the police went up on the roof to, where you guys remember, to engage him. And then they were told to stand down by Secret Service, who were hundreds of yards away. Do you remember that? And before Secret Service was able to come arrest the gentleman, he got those shots off where somebody died and Donald Trump was wounded in the ear. Do you guys remember that? It's eerily similar to Tyler Robinson. That's why I say, what do we know now? What do we know definitively now? We know there's a high-powered rifle, right? We know there's inscribed shell casings. This is what we've been told. We've seen video of an individual running from the roof. We've seen experts do ballistics and trajectory that the shot most possibly came from the roof. We have experts saying that 30-06 certain light rounds may not have penetrated the neck. So we have a symphony of clues, but that's just the beginning. Holy ears. You guys always give me great compliments. You talk about the ears, but what about this bell pepper right here? What about this bell pepper right here? So Candace Owens the other day, so much been coming out that some of the stuff I haven't been able to get to. So today, I thought it was a great day on Friday for us to go do a great recap. I believe at this moment in time, so many things have come out. Like I've said, a symphony of clues, that it takes a day like this for us to go through everything. Because look, there's a lot of sleuthers in the chat. There's a lot of people who have been doing their research. Double tap, hit the like button. Everybody coming in, 200 people watching. I need 200 likes. It's very simple, very easy. Just go ahead and double tap, hit the like button right now. Everybody right now watching is free. So we haven't had time to process, we haven't had time to process everything that we've learned. So I want to process some of the things that we've learned, right? So Candace Owens, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 characters. So we got a lone wolf narrative going around with all of these shootings. You got Joshua Jan. I don't know how many of you know, but I'm in Northern California, so I'm the first person on YouTube to talk about the shooting in California at ABC. So this week alone, just this week alone, we had the ICE shooting. We had multiple shootings this week. If we extrapolate what's going on in America, it's not a joke. Right now in America, and it's not even a political year. It's not an election year. Typically, you see things like this. I told you that we're already starting the 2028 campaign, but it's technically not an election year. Even though Kamala Harris has thrown her hat in the ring, even though Gavin Newsom has thrown his hat in the ring, it's technically not an election year. But you see this tumultuous things going on in America. The climate is crazy. And MAGA, I've been saying it for weeks, MAGA knew the climate. So a symphony of clues. Candace Owens put out a list of suspicious individuals that day, speaking to the symphony of clues. And we're going to talk about these individuals, but I'm going to link it to the Discord. I also have on my channel, I've been talking to my audience about Discord. A lot of YouTubers have a Discord. I've been there, and YouTube has advised me to create a Discord so that I can interact with my members. I said when I first started investigating the Charlie Kirk incident, I don't think I'm creating a Discord. I said, I believe that the radicalization that these young men are going through is happening on the dark web, i.e. Platforms like Discord, right? And there is actually Discord messages that Tyler Robinson sent. The thing about it that I would like to point out when we talk about this symphony of clues and this lone wolf theory is that who is he talking to? Right? As we go through these suspicious characters that Candace Owens mentioned, and we discuss what we know, I'm going to ask you your opinion. I want to know from you in the chat. I need to know in the comment section after the live stream is over, because you may not have your answer right now. You may need to surmise all of the clues and facts, and then after the live stream, you are welcome to leave a comment. In fact, I invite you to leave a comment after the live stream. Everybody right now watching, we got 300 people watching. Double tap, hit the like button. It's very free. You're watching Perfect Timing Podcast, top of the mid-morning from an OG perspective. We are going over what we know so far in the Charlie Kirk assassination, because over the past 2 weeks, so many videos, so many clues, so many reports have come out. Let's just start let's just start with what we know about that day. Thank you, Candace Owens, for highlighting. You guys are going to be shocked, because I was shocked if you don't watch Candace Owens at what just took place that day as we talk about this concert and this symphony of clues. Number one, with these suspicious individuals, Candace Owens pointed out a man who took a photo, an unnamed donor, a TPUSA donor in the front row immediately pulled out his phone to photograph Kirk's body. Do you guys remember that? I thought that was weird also. So when I say symphony of clues, concert of events, there was a concert and a symphony that took place, including the shooter walking down that street, including the shooter getting on that roof, including the shooter taking the shot and running and jumping off the roof. As soon as he took the shot, then you have this happen, this happen, this happen, this happen. This is what we're talking about today. What do we know? For a fact, what do we know so that we can extrapolate the real from the fake? And then I'm going to ask you in the chat to give your opinion on what you think we're going to do going forward. How do we move forward together as a country together? Red, blue, Democrat, Republicans, how do we unite? How do we move on from this moment, understanding that it's one America for all? So that question is coming. Get ready, get your pen, take your notes. So first, on that day, there were several suspicious individuals. Shout out to Mrs. Perfect Time and happy Friday. Get the likes up. Hit the super chat right now. We have a goal of 15 super chats every day, and that's the first super chat right there. Happy Friday, and love and peace and blessings to everybody watching, everybody that will watch in the replay. Shout out to the replay gang, everybody who can't watch the whole podcast, who comes back and watch when they get off of work. Shout out to the replay gang. Thank you watching, liking, and subscribing. Double tap, hit the like button. And everybody, that will be the last time I address the super chats, because I know it's tough for a lot of Americans and you don't have the money, and I don't want to plague the podcast with talks of money and support. Those of you who feel like supporting, you can support if you like. If you don't, I understand. I still love you, and thank you for watching, and thank you for your views. Double tap and hit the like button. So we got that out the way. So I love you guys. Thank you. We got 300 people watching. We need 300 likes. It's very easy. Double tap the screen if you're watching on the cell phone. Most people watch me on the cell phone. If also you might have 3 ellipses, those are 3 dots in your top right-hand corner. Hit those 3 dots. That will allow you to like the video also. So we're starting with the suspicious individuals listed by Candace Owens in her podcast a couple days ago, because we're going over the symphony of clues, starting with the day in the concert of events that took place, not just with the shooting. So we're going to go back to even before, when we're going to look at the actual Discord messages. Before we get to Discord and what Tyler Robinson said on Discord, let's go over the suspicious individuals and the concert of events that took place on the actual day of the shooting. So Candace Owens first directs us to the man who took a photo. The man, and she showed video. I'm not going to go through video of everything because we're on a vertical platform and then we're on a cell phone. So all you're going to have is my beautiful face and my lovely big ears and my big nose and lips. So I hope you enjoy the podcast. So number one, Candace Owens showed video of a TPUSA donor in the front row who immediately put out his phone to photograph Kirk's body after the shot. Within seconds of the collapse, Owens described him as a middle-aged man wearing a suit positioned unusually close to the stage. That was the first thing that was suspicious and odd about but there's many more. This is just on the ground that day. Let's go further. Key allegation. Acted too calmly and deliberately. You're going to find that comes up a lot. Double tap, hit the like button. So the number one suspicious thing happens. We got, and this is not even going to Discord, Tyler walking down the street, Tyler changing clothes 3 times, Tyler getting on the roof, Tyler getting off the roof. Just after the shot. Keep in mind, we're going to get to that. Listen, you got to put that to the side. Tyler walking down the street, Tyler walking down the stairs, Tyler changing his clothes 3 times, Tyler getting on the roof, Tyler getting off the roof. Put that to the side. We're going to get to that. But right now, after the shot, first thing, this man who was oddly close to Charlie Kirk takes a picture of the body. Why would you do that? pulls out his cell phone. He's not crying. He's not distraught. He's not emotional at all. He's very calm and deliberate, documenting for handlers rather than in shock, suggests he was pre-positioned to capture official images for the cover-up, right? This is what may be alleged, that he must have been pre-positioned by the way he acted in his location, right? Why a donor would photo a dying man instead of helping, right? Cover the wound, give him life-saving procedures. He took a photo. That's number one. That's number one. Now, again, keeping to the side the fact that Tyler walked down the street supposedly with the gun. Tyler changed 3 times. Tyler getting on the roof. Tyler running away in 3 seconds. Tyler jumping off the roof. We have that is over here. That is to the side right now. Those are all part of the symphony of clues. I know there are a lot of intelligent people in the chat who would point and say, perfect. What about when he walked down the street? What about when he walked down the stairs? What about when he was limping? What about when he changed clothes? We're going to get to that. I'm just telling you, we're not there yet. But I'm glad you guys are understanding the complete picture and the symphony in my terminology and nomenclature. There's a reason why I say symphony of clues, why I say orchestrated chaos, a concert of events. So put that to the side, because that's a lot to deal with. There are multiple videos of Tyler walking. They say he changed clothes multiple times. He didn't turn himself in for 33 hours. We got to put all of that to the side, because today we're discussing what we know. And I'm so happy you guys know so much and you want to know so much. That's why I'm here. Thank you for watching. 400 people watching. Double tap, hit the like button right now. Everybody hit the like button. Thank you for watching. So next we have the camera mover. So first we talk about the first thing after Charlie Kirk is shot. We have this odd donor who's like 1 foot away from Charlie with the ability to take a picture of Charlie as he's dying. He doesn't help Charlie, he takes a photo. Next, after Charlie is rushed to the ambulance by security, one of the TPUSA, listen to this, named the camera mover. So first Charlie is shot. A donor takes a picture of Charlie's dead body. Charlie is rushed to the ambulance. Next, the camera mover. This is so odd. Both individuals, the person who took the picture of Charlie's dead body was not visibly shaken or emotional. Next, the camera mover, who supposedly was Charlie Kirk's friend and employee of Turning Point USA. This individual who approached the camera mounted above behind Kirk's head 5 minutes after the shooting around 12:28 p.m. and physically adjusted or removed it. Owens says she spoke to him directly and viewed the raw footage. In video, we see Turning Point USA employee standing on the chair Charlie Kirk was sitting on when he was shot, removing the camera, and then we saw him doing this and had a lookout and took the USB. We saw the videos. Candace Owens showed us the video. And Candace, why did he do it? And why did he do it in that particular fashion? Why did he look like he wanted no one to know that he was taking the footage? Why did he look around before he removed the USB from the camera? Now, keep in mind where we are in the story. We are not talking about Tyler walking down the street. We are not talking about Tyler going down the stairs with the rifle in his pants. We are not talking about Tyler changing clothes 3 times, not being called for 33 hours, how he got on the roof, how he got off the roof. That is to the side. We're going to get there because it's a symphony. You understand percussion. You have horns. You have strings. There is a symphony of clues. Yes, we have a lot of intelligent people in the chat. You have done your research, and I am very grateful. Must understand, this is a symphony of clues. So yes, those things are videos we have saw and the FBI has confirmed, but that is over here. That's a lot to deal with. Just take that in. The analogy of a symphony with the percussion section, with the string section, with the horn section. Just take that analogy in, that we are not even discussing that part of the orchestra, that Tyler walked down the street supposedly with the gun in his leg, that Tyler walked downstairs supposedly with a rifle. This is another piece of the symphony, a very powerful part of the orchestra, right? Tyler getting on the roof, Tyler getting off the roof, Tyler setting up the shot. That is not even here. We are only Post-shooting, we have a donor taking a photo of Charlie. Then we have a cameraman, employee of TPUSA, removing the USB from the camera. Very oddly, again, I said, why was he not distraught? If my best friend had just been shot, I would be distraught and I would be an ambulance chaser. I would be following the ambulance to the hospital to pray for him. Number one, these are Christians. I would be going to the hospital to pray with him and pray with his family and pray a covering over him to make sure that God would intercede. But instead, these Christians jumped on a chair, took the camera down, looked around, and took out the USB. Are you guys following me? Are you guys following me? Now, let's continue because now we're at person of suspicion number 2. See, I got some people in the chat, very intelligent, very mindful. Thank you for being respectful today. Thank you for everybody watching. Double tap, hit the like button. Thank you for all the unity and respect in the chat. I know YouTube appreciates it. I definitely appreciate all of the respect, and I don't mind people disagreeing with me in the chat. But I tell you, after everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks, I truly appreciate everybody being here, being respectful, and joining the conversation, having a discussion, having a debate. Charlie would have wanted us to have a discussion, have a debate, and be Americans, be brothers. So next, the shooter recorded unnamed witness on the roof. So now we're at the third suspicious person, a bystander, possibly a student or local, who filmed Tyler Robinson fleeing across a nearby roof, capturing his face and movements 2 minutes post-shot. Owens says she made contact with him via tips. So Owens actually spoke with the young man who got the video of Tyler running across. So now we're at suspicious individual number 3 that harkens back to the Trump assassination attempt where Trump was shot in the ear, where the shooter sat on the roof for several minutes and the shooter was first identified by the public. Can you guys remember and recall? Stay with me. I said this third suspicious piece of information in the Symphony of Clues harkens back to when Donald Trump was shot in the ear and the shooter was on the roof for an extended period of time. And the first people who noticed him on the roof was public, not the police who were there, not the Secret Service who were there. The every average Joe were the people who saw him on the roof first. Again, in the Charlie Kirk assassination, the people who identified the shooter first, and this is key because there's a lot of conspiracy theories spinning around. So one of the things that's so key is that the first person to notice Tyler was an everyday average Joe. And it's the same thing when Donald Trump was shot in the ear. I believe that that should be factored in to our understanding. But again, I'm going to ask you, again, as we don't worry, we're just getting started. This is a great show. Happy Friday. I mean, thank goodness we're all here. We're all able to have this discussion. God bless Charlie Kirk's wife and his kids and his legacy. I'm very proud of everyone who is here and being respectful and mindful of the conversation. Thank you so much. So let's go to the next suspicious person. Let's do a recap because we didn't name 3 people so far. So far we have the man who took a photo. Next, we have the camera mover who was an employee of TPUSA. All of these people are familiars in the FBI slang. The people I've mentioned so far are all familiar. So the first person who took the photo was a donor. The second person who moved the camera was an employee of TPUSA and knew Charlie Kirk personally. The third person was an average Joe, a student probably, who saw the shooter on the roof. Now we're at the fourth person. Keep in mind, this is a symphony of clues and a concert of events. George Zinn. All of us know George Zinn. George Zinn is probably one of the most famous individuals in this discussion, right? Because of his theatrics, right? Some of us didn't know about the other 3 individuals, but most people know about George Zinn because of his theatrics. He dropped his pants. Remember, he's 71 years old. Why is a 71-year-old man there dropping his pants, screaming, "I did it"? This is very odd. It hasn't been explained to me to where where I accept the explanation. I know a lot of you have questions. That's why we're having this discussion today. Please understand we're at the fourth individual. George Zinn does not exist in the vacuum by itself. Please understand that this is not even talking about Tyler walking down the street, getting down the stairs, getting on the roof, setting up the shot, jumping off the roof, and evading capture for 33 hours. We're not even at that. We're just talking about the fourth suspicious individual. And listen, a disheveled man in the crowd who appeared out of nowhere behind the stage, losing his pants. It doesn't even, it sounds like one of my son's Marvel comic books. Listen, a disheveled man in the crowd who appeared out of nowhere. Who appears out of nowhere? Like superhero? A disheveled man in the crowd appeared out of nowhere behind the stage. How did he get behind the stage? Losing his pants while running chaotically 1 to 2 minutes after the shot. Owens calls him a potential patsy or distraction, yelling that he did it. Planted to mimic a fleeing suspect and draw eyes away from the real accomplice. His sudden appearance, no prior footage of him. All the sleuths who have cameras, there is no prior footage of George Zinn. George Zinn magically appears, and why his pants are down haven't been explained to us. Where was he? Where he came from hasn't been explained to us. Why he would infer that he was the one who did it makes absolutely no sense and hasn't been explained to us. And we're not even talking about the fact that he was charged for PDF after he was arrested. Listen to this. Appearances, no prior footage of him, and odd behavior, pants falling off, scream, stage ties to decoy theories like fake shooter ID. Eyewitness videos from multiple angles showing his route, matching the escape path. Owens timeline reconstruction update. So this is the fourth guy with this weird behavior. So we have a donor. Number one, Charlie Kirk is shot. And again, do not bring in, because we haven't got there, Tyler Robinson walking down the street, getting on the roof, getting off the roof, changing clothes 3 times, 33 hours. We're not talking about that. Different part of the orchestra. We're talking about Charlie Kirk being shot in the neck. And then first thing that happens is a donor is 1 foot away from him. That donor is not crying. That donor doesn't administer life-saving procedures. The donor takes a picture. Next, we have an employee and friend. Charlie Kirk is rushed to the hospital. Employee and friend gets up on the chair and steals camera footage. TPS USA employee and friend of Charlie Kirk steals camera footage. All of us are speculating where the bullet came from, who shot who. And TPS USA has cameras that were directly in back and in front. So we saw him take the camera from the back. I didn't know. I learned today from the Tim Pool podcast that there was a similar camera in front of Charlie. So all of us have seen the Candace Owens video where the TPUSA employee gets on a chair, takes the camera, looks around, takes the USB. You know what we didn't see is there's a camera in the front. And all of us want to know who did the shot, what type of gun, what type of projectile, where did it come from? TPUSA has the best footage and they haven't released it. That camera from the back that Candace Owens saw, there's a camera directly in the front. So everything that we need to see and know, TPS USA has and hasn't released. And oddly, they stole the footage and almost like sneakily took it away. So that's the second thing. The third thing is we have a bystander, a student, capture video of Tyler Robinson on the roof. After that, we have George Zinn. Isn't it amazing? All of these things happening all in concert, nothing happened so sequentially, and it all happened like Candace Owens pointed out, seconds. These things happen within seconds. The video, Tyler Robinson running across the roof, that was 3 seconds. George Zinn appearing out of nowhere, that was seconds. Getting arrested and then move to the car within minutes. These are all happening in seconds. Not 10 minutes, not 5 minutes. This is all happening in seconds. As soon as the shot is taken, you see the donor taking the picture immediately. As soon as Charlie leaves, you see them stealing the camera footage immediately. You see George Zinn drop his pants and scream immediately. All these things happening like a symphony, like a concert, orchestrated chaos. Remember where you heard these terminologies first. You heard them on the Perfect Timing podcast. I am the one who said this is orchestrated chaos. This is a concert of events. This is a symphony of clues. George Zinn drops his pants so that all the law enforcement focuses on George Zinn and then now has to secure him. Now I can't look for anyone else because he said he did it and now his pants are on the ground. I have to now get his pants up, cuff him, and get him secured. Just monopolizing all of my eyes and physical abilities because now you've dropped your pants. I can't see anything that's going on. Shooter disappears. Last, the trench coat man, misidentified Kirk supporter. Now, we're back to Candace Owens and all of these suspicious individuals. Next, after George Zinn, she points out the trench coat man. Today, we're discussing what we know so far. This has been a very traumatizing event. We're discussing what we know so far. And at the end of the podcast, I'm going to ask you your opinion. You can leave it in the comment section after the podcast. I invite you to wait till the podcast is over and then leave your comment so we can have a discussion in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Double tap, hit the like. 500 people watching. I need everyone to hit the like button. Double tap the screen. Double tap, hit the like. It's free. Trench coat man. A man in the audience wearing what looked like a trench coat and a black glove spotted gesturing oddly near the stage pre and post shot. Owens initially flagged him as a suspicious, but later clarified, initially suspect as a spotter signaling accomplices, right? The hand gestures debunked as prosthetic on a Kirk alley, but Owens still questions placement. Crowd photo circulated on X. Fact checks. So I guess it was a prosthetic, but she still had a question. You guys got to let me know what you think. Double tap, hit the like button. The unknown accomplice in the tunnel. So Candace Owens had pointed to the fact that directly under Charlie Kirk was a trap door, underground workings, so where someone could get away. Also, Candace Owens pointed out the connection to Caldera pipe fitters and the fact that there was piping from Caldera directly under Charlie Kirk. The FBI filled in that hole directly after the shooting. But there was a trap door. This is from the desk of Candace Owens. This is just giving us more fodder for our discussion. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with Candace Owens. I want to have a discussion with my audience. How you doing, Grace? Thank you for watching. Grace, go ahead and double tap, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, you're going to get a plus sign. You're allowed to join the channel, become a member. Membership has its privileges. I have members, I have moderators. We do member-only content. Some of the live streams are so hot, we got to do members only. So we do member-only live streams where we open up the panel, let the members come on, and we argue and duke it out. So join the channel. Membership has its privileges. The unknown accomplice in the tunnel. So not a named person, but Owens theorizes an unseen assassin hiding in underground utility tunnel behind the stage based on blood footage and stage angle. Fired the real shot while Robinson was a decoy, explains no exit wound or blood spray in behind stage videos. Feds ignorance underground sensors, behind stage camera footage. So that's a theory that Candace Owens is also putting out there. We can also discuss that. Just adding to the symphony of clues, right? So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 suspicious things happening on that day in this symphony without talking about, think about this, all of these things are without talking about Tyler Robinson. Now, if we add in Tyler Robinson walking down the street, supposedly with the limp because he had a high-powered rifle, then we add in Tyler Robinson on the stairs bending his leg, which is impossible with the high-powered rifle. You see on my thumbnail, someone running away from the roof. We saw someone jump. Now, again, how do you run away? In my thumbnail, how you doing? You see him running with knees bent. You don't see a gun. So how are you sprinting and jumping off a roof with the gun in your leg? That hasn't been explained to us, right? What we know, right? What we know. What do we know at this time, right? None of that. This is all part of the Symphony of Clues. But I told you we have been talking about discord, because when you say lone wolf, my only pushback and question is, if there's a lone wolf narrative, you have Joshua Jan, the Dallas ICE shooter. Are you guys listening? Both Joshua Jan, the Dallas ICE shooter, and Crown, the Trump shooter, both had online ties and both made announcements online in dark web chats. So how is that lone when there are other people who knew that they were going to do it and celebrated it online? So isn't that in concert? If I go online and I have an online group of friends and I discuss committing a crime, and my online group of friends know I'm going to commit this crime and even give me ideas on how to do it correctly and egg me on, aren't they not accomplices? How is it still lone when all of the shooters were part of these left radicalized online dark web chat rooms? I don't see that's the part I would like you guys to help me with, because for me, I don't understand how is that lone, right? I think that's dangerous. I think that's unsafe for us to ignore what is actually happening in the dark web on these online chats, and then to say that this is just someone who's just doing this. No, I don't believe we have that luxury anymore. I don't think we have the luxury anymore to just ignore what is happening in these online chat rooms. I think it's like a baby boomer approach to the investigation. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You know how the young people talk about boomers? Like, I don't deal with boomers and I don't like boomers. If you think, and how they say, oh, you don't need a cell phone in school. And my children are in school and I still feel like there's a baby boomer approach to the laptop, to the tablet, to the cell phone, and to the devices. And I believe there's a baby boomer approach to teaching, and teachers have not came into this web 3.0 new world that our children are going to be living in. We have too many baby boomers educating our children. And I don't think they get and understand the world that these kids will live in. They won't live in the baby boomer world. They will live in a web 3.0, web 4, web 5. Things will only become more animated, right? They're never going back to how you lived at a library with books and microfiche. So having them in school learning this antiquated style, not understanding that the digital way of life is the future, I don't know, man, because I believe that has been the approach to the investigation. I believe it's a very like CIA, FBI, or these antiquated systems from these old 1900s, right? And it's a baby boomer approach. This whole lone wolf, it's like something from the 1960s, right? It doesn't really capture where we are as a people now in America. Like it doesn't really understand the power and influence of social media. Things like Instagram, places like YouTube, and then dark web chat rooms. And I don't think if you don't think about what I'm saying. This is not a joke. all of the shooters were Joshua Jan, Dallas ICE shooter, was the night before talking about, he wrote anti-ICE on the shell casings. And he talked about, I want this to instill fear, terror. I'm sorry, I quoted it yesterday. Apologize for the misquote because it's not in front of me yesterday, but I keep things in my mind like a steel trap. Joshua Jan wrote in a dark web chat room, his goal was to instill terror in ICE agents. And that's why I made the video on my channel right now, thanking them for their service. And I said, imagine how it would feel being an ICE agent this morning, going to work, and you don't have a choice. You got to pay bills, you got to feed your family, protect your wife, pay your mortgage. And I know your wife may have said, honey, don't go to work. Honey, take off a couple days until everything calms down. I want to say thank you to those ICE agents who are brave enough, you're heroes, bro, who got up this morning in Dallas and went to work, because even the detainees needed you to come to work. Even the detainees needed you to come to work. So thank you to those ICE agents for all your hard work. But what I am pointing out to you as I get to Tyler Robinson's Discord messages is that Joshua Jan, Dallas ICE shooter, also, not just Tyler Robinson, this is all part of what I talked about yesterday, all of these coincidences that built this profile of this young white left-wing radicalized male with a high-powered rifle who had been radicalized online. I don't see how the FBI leaves that out as they built a profile. And if that is part of Cash, if that's part of your profile, then you have to agree that this is not lone. These are not lone. It's not isolated. There is something happening, and it's dangerous for Republicans to ignore. Cash Patel, please. It is something happening underneath all of this with our young men, and it is dangerous for the FBI to ignore what's going on Signal, on Discord, on the dark web, in these chats. Because if you were monitoring these chats, you would have been able to stop all of this. Think about this, this is why I say baby boomer approach. The young people are like, they don't want to stop the violence. Imagine if you're 20 years old and you're blatantly sharing this stuff publicly. You got to look at the baby boomers as like old people who don't know anything, because they've been talking about doing this violence going back to August. Joshua Jan was talking about doing this violence going back to August, but all of the antiquated FBI baby boomer systems didn't catch it until after he hurt some people. But if the FBI was like on their stuff, they would be inside of these dark web chat rooms. They would be stopping the child pornography, stopping the child trafficking, stopping the online radicalization that leads to political violence, or at least identify suspects before, so that you can, that's what the FBI is supposed to do. That's what they got that Homeland, and they passed the Patriot Act. I thought that's why we passed the Patriot Act. Now we actually have people saying they want to commit terror and acting on it, and where they are and where they're discussing it. It's a very antiquated approach to this investigation. I'm telling you, it's a baby boomer way of looking at these individuals. It's a very baby boomer, old head. You know what I'm saying? How they say old head, baby boomer. It's a very baby boomer, old head way of looking at these events. How are you not linking together? You should definitely be in left wing. They called it alt-right, right? They called us alt-right. What is it called on the left? What are the hyperbolic, radicalized, violent left called? I don't even know. And that's part of the problem. You demonize the right. The right doesn't deserve the demonization, and you don't even have a term. So you don't have an ability to stop the violence on the left. What do we call the leftist radicals? They called themselves, listen to this, everybody in chat, because MAGA knew the writing on the wall. MAGA knew the climate. They called themselves trained Marxists. Double tap at the like. Somebody said it in the chat. Thank you, Teresa. You beat me to it. Thank you, Teresa. They called themselves trained Marxists. That's not my words. That's not my terminology. That's what they called themselves. There was, like, before Charlie Kirk's death, Antifa. That's who they are. And that's who the left wing violent right. Yep, you're absolutely right. And I think we can say that without getting in trouble. I think, yes, thank you for that in the chat, Goonie. You're absolutely right, Napier family. You're absolutely right. I think we can say that without any trouble. I think that is a fair assessment. And what did we find on the shell casings? What we found, Antifa songs or in rhetoric. Did we not find that on the shell casings? Hello? Did we not? And Joshua Jan, Dallas, and I keep saying it because I know you guys, it's so much new information. It's so much new information. You may not know who the name of the Dallas ICE shooter was. The Dallas ICE shooter's name is Joshua Jan. And Joshua Jan wrote on his shell casings also, anti-ICE, and he was Antifa inspired also. He spoke Antifa message. I read to you the quote. Joshua Jan, Dallas ICE shooter. I want this to instill terror in ICE agents. That's what he wrote. That's what he wrote in these dark web chats. I can't say this enough, Cash Patel. I need you to get on this. Let's read. Greg, that was actually funny. I don't think Grandma, rest in peace, would allow me to have my Funko Pop collection. You know, my shoe collection. I don't think she would allow me to have my Funko Pop collection, my shoe collection, my watch collection. You know what I'm saying? Everything on the wall. So this is a real studio. You know, we got the studio, podcast studio, microphone, laptop. This is a real studio. We're doing a vertical format because YouTube has blessed us with the opportunity to do the vertical format. I'm extremely grateful to YouTube, and thank you for watching. So what we're going to do now is go into the Discord information. I've been talking about, I see my brother, Mr. Boski. I saw Ozzy Cosby. I saw a lot of people. Y'all know we've been having this discussion about Discord, right? And so today, as I thought about recapping what we've discussed, I said, you know what? I want to go find, I heard someone today, and I thought it was ironic. I said, I'm not going to start a Discord. I said to my guys, bro, the Discord is all bad juju. And I said, I believe this is where it's happening. I still believe that today. So I said, I'm not going to create a Discord. I don't want us on Discord. We'll have our conversations on YouTube. We're not going to go in the dark. We're not going dark. So that's what I said to my guys. I don't want to be on Discord. I don't want us over there because I think it's bad stuff over there, right? And I don't know if I'm even supposed to say that because I don't want anyone to say anything bad about a company. How should I say? I just rather be on YouTube. Let me say it like that. And I'm not going to create a Discord, right? So let me read this. Charlie Kirk, 31-year-old conservative activist and co-founder of Turning Point USA, was fatally shot in the neck during an open-air event at Orem, Utah on September 10th. The single bullet wound caused his death at the scene. Tyler Robinson, 22-year-old from Washington, Utah, was arrested approximately 33 hours. That's not actually true. He turned himself in. Make sure you keep in your notes. 33 hours later, and that's very important. 33 hours later, following the manhunt involving FBI and local law enforcement, there was a manhunt, but they didn't find him. Tyler Robinson turned himself in. So much for the manhunt. He faces charges of aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice. In fact, his father turned him in, and his father got $1 million money for turning him in from Bill Ackman. Go ahead and keep those notes. I said his father turned him in. Tyler hasn't confessed, and his father received $1 million from Bill Ackman for turning him in, right? Because he put up $1 million to find the killer. So let's keep going. Robinson, described by his mother as increasingly left-leaning over the past year with growing support for LGBT crew rights, left a handwritten note for his roommate, also his romantic partner identified as transgender male, stating, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it." Court documents and witness stamps indicate Robinson planned to attack for about a week, motivated by what he perceived as Kirk's hatred and role in spreading divisive rhetoric and text to his roommate. Post-shooting, Robinson wrote, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. He has not formally confessed to authorities." Remember what I said. His father helped him turn himself in. He has not formally confessed to authorities, invoking his right for a lawyer during interrogation, but substantial digital evidence, including text, notes, DNA on a rifle casing, DNA on a single rifle casing, and surveillance footage links him to the crime. Okay? The Discord chats. Robinson participated in at least 2 Discord groups. This is what I'm talking about. Robinson participated in at least 2 Discord groups, one with over 20 members, possibly more. This is my argument when we talk about Lone Wolf. He was in multiple Discords with 20 members. Joshua Jan, Dallas Ice Shooter, similarly in Discord with multiple people. Hit the like button, double tap, hit the like. 500 people watching. We should have 500 likes. As soon as you come in and start watching, just double tap, hit the like button. It's free. Thank you so much. And every time, let's keep going. Popular among gamers, where he was in 2 Discord chats, one of them with over 20 people, where he discussed the shooting shortly after it occurred. These chats were not used for pre-planning the attack, according to this. According to Discord spokesman who stated in an internal review found no evidence that suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord. However, the FBI is investigating all participants for potential knowledge or encouragement, with Director Kash Patel confirming during September 16th Senate Judiciary Committee hearing that agents are running down every lead from the groups, including questioning anyone and everyone involved. Thank you, Kash Patel. That's what I'm talking about. And from going forward, you need to do the same thing. Journalist Ken Keppenstein published leaked screenshots on his Substack on September 16th, providing the most detailed public view. The chat show Robinson group, the chat show Robinson's group reacting with confusion rather than celebration, grappling with his actions. Below is a surmised timeline and key excerpts based on the leaks and reports from the Washington Post. So, September 11th through 12th, sender, afternoon, post-shooting, 2 to 3 hours after. Robinson did not turn himself in for 33 hours. He eluded capture. They should say that Robinson eluded capture, right? Robinson eluded capture for 33 hours and later turned himself in, or his father turned him in. So the first post from Discord happened 2 to 3 hours after Charlie Kirk was murdered. And again, he didn't turn himself in for 33 hours. He had a lot of time. The message read, "Charlie Kirk got shot, dead. I just saw the video. Holy mess. RIP, I guess. Bro didn't deserve to go out like that." Initial group reaction to news reports, shock and empathy. Afternoon, an acquaintance attaches FBI suspect photos of Tyler Robinson. Where y'all at? With skull emoji. Tagging Robinson due to his likeness to the grainy images of the UVU stairwell surveillance. So what's happening on the Discord is one person says they feel bad, remorse. Another person from the Discord says, "Hey, this looks like one of the members of the Discord." Group member says, "Tyler killed Charlie." This is very revealing. How many people knew this? I didn't know this. As we talked about everything we've talked about so far, I'm happy we're doing this show now because this is going to add to everyone's ability to come up with a better understanding of what took place. I did not know this. So in the afternoon, a group member, they figured it out first. Tyler killed Charlie. Afternoon, Tyler Robinson, username Zealous Monkey 55095. My doppelganger is trying to get me in trouble. Wow, this is kind of weird, right? Tyler Robinson's writing this the afternoon after Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. My doppelganger is trying to get me in trouble. Later, I'm actually Charlie Kirk. Wanted to get out of politics, so I faked my death. Now I can live out my dream life in Kansas. So think about this. Okay, two things to unpack. I didn't know these messages. This is brand new. Tricky Ninja, shout out to you. Let me cook. So first thing is, this is not the voice of the text messages. Do you agree, Tricky? Candace Owens, everybody who read the text messages extrapolated that the vocabulary was odd and it did not fit the syntax of a 20-year-old. Now, as I read this, the way the text messages, my outfit, my love, it was written like a English romance. And what the chatter was online was the people had pushback because they said, I have a 20-year-old son. He doesn't text like this. I saw a lot of going back and forth, and it was very odd with a lot of parents saying, my child is 8 years old. My child is 11 years old. My child has a 4.0, and this is how they text. Like, I thought that was very odd. Didn't you think that was odd? Like, what was the point of that? And they all seem to be Democratic left-leaning, and they kept typing that my child has a 4.0 and he texts like this. And it was like very odd because it was obvious to every adult logical thinker this was not a child's text messages, right? That was to everybody. But so the first thing, Tricky Ninja said he knew about this. So the first thing, Tricky, the texts are very strange. Correct. Tricky said in the text, the first thing I noticed about Tyler Robinson's Discord, because Discord is like a text message, right? When you're on, let's not say, I'm not going to say it anymore because I understand. I apologize to Discord, allegedly, and they cleared up. They had nothing to do with pre-planning. There's nothing wrong with Discord. Discord is a great app. Thank you, Discord. We love you. So what I want to point out is that when this is a chat room, and in a chat room on a text message, you chat. See, that's the thing about what was so odd about the text messages is that the baby boomer approach to the text messages is a lack of understanding of the chat terminology and lingo that the young people have and where it's appropriate to chat. See, the thing that the baby boomers' interpretation of those text messages are like, oh, it's literally correct. What's the big deal? No, you chat on text. You chat in a chat room. And chat is not literary correct. You don't use capitals. You don't have to spell. It's a chat. By definition, that's why I say baby boomer, baby boomer, baby boomer, baby boomer. And when I look at this message from Tyler Robinson and you compare it to the text messages, this is how he chats. This is how he texts. My doppelganger is trying to get me in trouble. Quotations. This is not literally punctually correct. He's just having, this is just words. Chatting via text, not actually. Later, I'm actually Charlie Kirk. Wanted to get out of politics, so I faked my death, comma. Now I can live out my dream life. This doesn't jive. If you're telling me those text messages are in progress, thank you. If you're telling me those text messages with Tyler and his lover communicating, then what is this? This does look like a 20-year-old. The joking, jovial nature, and it doesn't seem like he was involved. I don't know how to interpret this, but the jovial nature, the syntax, the vocabulary, number one, it doesn't sound like someone who committed a murder. And number two, it doesn't jive with the text messages. Listen, playful deflection with memes. His avatar was a confused Garfield character. No outright denial, but ironic humor. Friends teased back about hiding evidence. Evening, 2 hours before arrest. Listen to this. Aren't you glad we had this show? Shout out to Tricky. Tricky said, yes, that last message, the replica rifle parties. Okay, so listen. Evening, 2 hours before arrest, 8 p.m. And you know what I love about this, Ozzy? No one's done this. Candace Owens hasn't done this. Tim Pool hasn't done this. No one has, for their audience, pulled up the Discord and read the Discord messages to give their audience more information to build their conclusion. That's my goal. If anybody out there, I'm not trying to sway anybody left or right. And I'm the first person I've seen and heard to pull up the Discord chat and give you that information so you can make up your own mind. That's the goal of a good YouTuber. That's the goal. My goal is to do a scoop, good journalism, right? Look for information that hasn't been presented to the public, to give the public the most readily available information, empower the public, empower my audience. That's what we do. That's what it's about. 2 hours before arrest, Tyler Robinson on his online chat. Hey guys, again, not jiving with the text messages. Hey guys, this is Tyler Robinson. You have to juxtapose this against what you already know and what they've told you. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. Yeah, I know the Discord messages came out day one. They discussed it, but no, I haven't seen nobody on YouTube do this. How you, Tyler? I'll admit I'm wrong. Tell me in the chat who you saw sequentially go through the text messages like I'm doing right now, because I haven't. I could be wrong. You know, there's billions of people in the world and millions of people on YouTube. I could be wrong, but I am in this sector, so I pay attention and I do my research, and I'm not lightly saying this. Talking to head, but yes, I haven't seen people bring it up, and definitely not direct. Okay, that's all I want. Thank you for being honest. I love and respect you. And I'm not trying to put a badge on myself. I'm just wanting to point out the goal, because yesterday we got a lot of bots. We got a lot of people that say a lot of mean things. People threaten me and say and do a lot of mean things to me. So I just want to let people know the goal and why we're doing this. And that's to empower you as the listening public, right? And I'm not always right. I say I'm perfect. I'm not right. But my goal is to empower you and provide you with useful information. Like, why would you subscribe? Why would you subscribe? Why would you hit the super chat? Why would you hit the like button unless I'm providing you something? My goal every time I do my research, and my goal is to not only entertain, but to provide. So listen, 2 hours before arrest. Hey guys, now remember the text messages. That's not how he addressed, and that's not how he did his not salutation. What's the beginning of a letter called? I forget. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. Now, I have bad news for you all, ... Very different from the text messages. It was me at UVU yesterday. What do you mean it was you? First, so this is the next day. This is the next day. And this is what Candace Owens was pointing out. And this is what Tyler, I think this is what the ninja was pointing out too, is that this is the next day. Tyler wasn't turned in for 33 hours. So you guys got to stay with the timeline. When I read this other message, these other messages, my doppelganger, that's the afternoon. That's hours after the shooting. Tyler wasn't turned in for 33 hours. So we're talking about 30 hours later, 30 hours after the shooting. This is deep that we unpack it in the way we're unpacking it. First, we had Tyler say, my doppelganger's trying to get me in trouble, hours after the shooting. Now, 30 hours later, 2 hours before he turns himself in, he admits to the online chat it was him. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. ... It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this. Not to his dad, not to his mom. He's speaking to people he truly does not know. That's why I say baby boomer approach. Baby boomers don't understand the relationships that millennials have and build in these online chat rooms. Just pay attention, you guys. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff. He admits here, I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laugh. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything. He had an intimate relationship with this online chat room. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend. So in the online chat, he admits that it was him. So he has not confessed to authorities. Isn't this odd? It's odd like the tech messages. Why would you not confess to authorities if you've already confessed to your online group and you know these messages exist? Is it like Signal? I don't know. Did he think, is it like Snapchat? Did he think that this would disappear? I don't know. Did he have the understanding that these messages would disappear? This is a direct confession, expresses regret, but not detailed motive in his message. He mentioned hating Kirk's views, but framed it as a personal act. Again, lone wolf. I'm just putting it out there. Y'all make up your mind. Post-arrest, September 12th, group member. Screenshots confirming arrest. Holy shit, it was actually him. Aftermath. Group processes the reality with some expressing sadness over lost friendship. No evidence of prior cheering or planning. That's the Discord discourse. That's the Discord. That's powerful, you guys. Wow. That's the Discord discourse. So much I learned. I hope you learned. Wow. Wow. The one thing I noticed about Tyler's arraignment was the fact that he showed zero emotion whatsoever, not even an eyebrow raise. It was kind of crazy to watch. Everyone that we've mentioned so far. The person who took Charlie Kirk's picture was a donor, person who's probably loved Charlie Kirk, no emotion, got up and took a picture. Almost could argue he was excited to be the one to get the photo. The guys from TPUSA who took the camera down and looked around and stole the USB footage, no emotion. And like I keep saying, Mr. Boski, I would have followed you to the hospital. There would have been nothing else on my mind but making sure that you were okay. I wouldn't have been trying to get a camera. My mind, no way in hell my mind would be thinking about camera footage. If my best friend and brother just got shot in front of me and got rushed off to the hospital, I'm following the ambulance. I'm calling his mom. I'm calling his wife. I want to pray with his mom. I want to pray with his wife. There's no way in hell that I don't follow the ambulance. And even if I don't follow the ambulance, I'm not getting on a chair and stealing camera footage. And I'm not gonna not be crying. I'm not gonna not be emotional, and I'm not gonna have a criminal sinister plot on my. I mean, who goes right into planning mode? Who goes right into plotting? You're like a supervillain. You got to be like a supervillain to have no emotions and go right into plotting. I'm plotting. Who does that? My best friend just got shot and murdered in front of me, and you don't have any emotions. You go right into plotting. Let me get the camera photos. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me secure this. Secure. I want to secure my friend's life and soul. I'm concerned about his children's life and soul, his parents, my company, my job. I'm not going to secure footage. That's so odd. No one was emotional. No one was emotional. What else did I want to read to you today? I wanted to read to you. James Comey got indicted. FBI Director James Comey indicted for false statements and obstruction. Thank you, fire. Thank you, everybody hitting the fire emoji. Double tap at the like button. We got 300 people watching. We need to have 300 likes, man. And if you really like the channel, man, support by using the super chat, man. We got a goal of 15 super chats. Hit the super chat. I have a Cash App. I never put my Cash App in the chat, but I have a Cash App if you want to support via Cash App. I never put my Cash App in the chat. Brian said hi. Jessica Avery said 100. Elaine, if prescribed, he may not be taking them. Mr. Bowski, Ozzy, that's another thing to think about. They're having a great discussion in the chat. Double tap hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the super chat to support. Former FBI Director James Comey indicted for false statements and obstruction. A federal grand jury in Virginia indicted former FBI Director James Comey on Thursday on charges of making false statements of obstructing congressional proceeding related to his 2020 testimony about media leaks and FBI crossfire hurricane investigation into Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. Prosecutors allege Comey authorized the sharing of classified information in 2016, contradicting his Senate statements, with each charge carrying up to 5 years in prison. Comey has proclaimed his innocence and plans to fight the charges, while President Trump describes the indictment as justice served. I want to know from y'all, after today's discussion, what do we know? As it pertains to Charlie Kirk, what do we know? I need to know. We talked about the suspicious individuals. We talked about Tyler Robinson in the Discord. We talked about Tyler Robinson not evading capture for 33 hours. Tyler Robinson on multiple videos, changing clothes 3 times, text messages admitting to the crime, online chats admitting to the. Where are we at? We got people who say it was a palm gun. Candace Owens, it was somebody in the tunnel. Was it somebody behind him? Was it somebody in front of him? What do we know? What do we know? Now, the reason why I did the show yesterday and I did the show today is because we know a lot if we have our eyes open. You know, there was a movie called Eyes Wide Shut. Can we get Eyes Wide Shut in the chat? Because one of the titles, I may still use it next week. Only reason I didn't name one of my podcasts this week, Eyes Wide Shut, is because I thought it was going to date me, because I'm 50 years old and most people, young people, don't know that movie. But my audience skews to, if you believe it or not, most of the people who watch me are above 50. When I do my analytics, it says 40 to 60 is my audience, even up to 70. So they definitely would be familiar with the movie Eyes Wide Shut. Thank you, Elaine. If you are watching everything, then we know a lot. That's why I keep interjecting Joshua Jan. Joshua Jan, Dallas ICE shooter, with a similar style, on the roof, high-powered rifle, inscribed shell casing, online chatter, radicalized left-wing online chatter. The shooter who shot Donald Trump in the ear and killed somebody. On the roof, high-powered rifle, online chatter, left-wing radicalization. If we're looking, somebody, Kazi said, I'm 57. I've seen it. I never saw it. If we're looking at the complete picture, if you look at my thumbnail, and I don't mean to offend my white male audience, but if you look at my thumbnail, to me, I think we have to go with the fact that it fits, that we have a profile of young white men using high-powered rifles from roofs who have been radicalized to left-wing violence in online chat rooms. And if you go with that, then it's hard not to look at Tyler and to look at all of these other distractions. Did he have an explosion? Was it a cell phone? Excuse me. Was it all this other stuff? The thing that is pushing me in a certain direction is that I am not looking at this as eyes wide shut. I can't. I cannot look at Joshua Jan. I cannot look at the Dallas ICE shootings and ignore the similarities. I can't look at Crown, who shot Trump in the ear and killed someone, as an isolated event just because you want me to, when there's too many similarities. They all were in these online chat rooms. They all were radicalized left recently. They all were under the age of 30, in their 20s. They all were on roofs. They all went undetected by. It says a lot about our law enforcement. Like, I think we need to go younger. And the sad part is, young people don't want to be in law enforcement. We need people like Big Balls. You know, Big Balls from the Doge team, who helped stop the carjacking, but he's very smart with computers. We need young people like that in law enforcement, who can look at this from a different angle, who could have been looking in the rooms with their supercomputer fingers and figured this out and saved lives. We got to get the one. Okay, we can't go back. Charlie Kirk is not going to come back alive. So I asked you, what do we do? How do we go forward? I think we have to become more agile as a law enforcement. We need to do something to change the way the public looks at law enforcement, because we need to recruit young, intelligent, tech-savvy youth, because we are missing. I don't know if Kash Patel wants to admit it, but I think it's a failure. I think it's a failure, and it has something to do with the baby boomers being the largest part of the population. This is the largest retirees and the largest ever group of people it's the biggest generation ever. I think we're ignoring the failures of our systems and our ability to be effective when these things keep happening. Like these deaths and shootings keep happening by like a mediocre 20-year-old. These are not like savvy, like sniper. These are mediocre, lonely, don't even have girlfriends. These are not functional 20-year-olds. So my argument is, you guys should have been able to catch them, right? Because they made so many mistakes. Joshua Jan, Tyler Rock. When you unpack and extrapolate who these people are, it says a lot about our ability as a people, FBI, CIA, in the old school way that we fight crime, that we are retroactive. Like, we just let the death happen. I think the one thing to take away from this is that our law enforcement is antiquated, and we need to change the way we look at law enforcement in America, and we need to go younger. We need to attract young people. We need to have more young people in these law enforcement settings to push back on this baby boomer ideology and how you look at crime. Because it's sad that the internet, think about every major crime in the last 5 years since the explosion of YouTube. Who has solved all major crimes? Think about it. Somebody can give it an anecdotal story in the chat. You can go back, man, over all of the major events in the past 5 years since the explosion of YouTube. FBI hasn't solved one thing. Like, can we have a real talk? I'm being honest. Since YouTube blew up in the past 5, you got the terminology YouTube University, right? Since YouTube had its ascension in the last 4 or 5 years, the internet sleuths have solved every major crime. And the FBI and the police have gotten every major crime wrong. We've never unpacked this and talked about this. The internet sleuths in the past 5 or 10 years, you could say they did it for clicks. But they are better than the FBI. That's how Kash Patel got his job. Do you guys understand? Kash Patel, Don Bonadingo got their job because they were the internet sleuths solving crimes. Dan Bonadingo on the assassination, seeing things that the Secret Service should have saw. The internet was solving crimes for the past 5 to 10 years. And it's not just the internet solving, but the FBI and police failing over and over again. The FBI director, James Comey, is an example. He tried to lie about the internet server. Everything about James Comey, when you see James Comey get indicted, don't be surprised. Because what happened with James? No one found out. We did. WikiLeaks. Y'all remember what happened? It was leaked. The FBI didn't investigate itself. The FBI didn't investigate Hillary. They were part of the collusion. What happened? Why would James Comey get it? Because of the logic. Internet sleuths figured out that Comey was up to no good. Internet sleuths figured out that Hillary Clinton was up to no good, and WikiLeaks and that guy had to go to jail because Hillary Clinton and Jack, they were all colluding to win that election, and Julian Assange leaked the information. Donna Brazile cheated in a debate. Remember all of this information? Donna Brazile cheated in a debate. James Comey had a secret investigation into Trump after he killed the Hillary Clinton server. All of that was not something that, remember what I said, baby boomer approach to law enforcement. How did we know all of these things? How do we know they were leaked? The internet has been solving everything, and the FBI and the police have consistently failed the American people on every major issue in the past 5 years. Going back to the 2016 election. Don't be surprised when Comey is indicted. That's the one thing we got to extrapolate. We need baby boomers. Why? Baby, I love you. If you a baby boomer and your grandma a baby boomer, I love you. I don't have anything against baby boomers. I don't. They shouldn't be president. They shouldn't be senator. Biden should not be president. Nancy Pelosi should not be in the House. Maxine Waters should not be in the House. And they should not be running FBI investigations. They can go on vacation. These kids have no critical thinking skills. So I can't debate that. I can't argue. No, I'm 39 and baby boomers have history that's not on the internet. Yeah, but it's time for them to step aside. When I say Web 3, do you know what I'm talking about? When I say digital semiconductor, when Trump is talking about infrastructure and HVAC and these microchips needed for super quantum computers, like if we're at super quantum now and your kid is 5 or 6, when they're 39, where will we? That's what I'm talking about. I love baby boomers, but we're not. They got to go to sleep, go to bed, because we're in Web 3.0 now, right? And none of you understand it. And we need our youth to not only understand it, but master it and be the purveyors. That's the argument for the trade and for the tariffs. That's my argument for the trade and for the tariffs, that American youth are clueless to the future, while Chinese and Mexican youth are building the future. I'm talking about we have quantum mega supercomputers now. Web 3.0 is now. And our children are not there because of the baby boomer. Fuck their history. I love them, but fuck their history. Put them to bed. We need children moving forward. We cannot be last in this race. And right now we are last, and no one understands the trade and the tariff argument. No one gets the trade and the tariff argument that we gave away the future, and there's only one way to get it back, and it will be painful and it won't be easy. But we gave away the future to China in manufacturing and cell phones and computing, and we need it back. We need it back. It's going to cost us. It's going to be expensive. But yes, Fuck the imports. We're going to tariff the motherfuckers. We're going to tariff their ass because we need it back. My babies need it back. So I'm going to pay more for gas. I'm going to pay more for bread. And I'm going to argue on the internet, and I'm going to hope to change the minds of liberal, hypnotized idiots to see that your baby deserves a future. And if you don't get right on trade and tariff, he won't have a future. Mickey, you don't know what you're talking about. That's true. A lot of people don't understand how important it is when it comes to tariffs and trade. We need to build this country for the youth. And I'm not talking about fucking BMWs. You guys, I'm not talking about fucking vacuums. That's not the future, bro. It's not a blender, a BMW, or a vacuum. I am saying where these computer chips are built, the people who understand the blockchain, crypto computing, quantum supercomputers that exist now, the fact that for the blockchain, we're going to need all this energy. Like, there are so many concepts that we are worried about the gays and race and gender. That's where the oligarchs want you to be focused. That's where the Democrats want you to be focused on social issues. Donald Trump is not talking about gays and race. He is doing trade and deficit so that you understand where your focus should be. You should be talking to your children about Web 3.0, the blockchain, supercomputer, quantum computers, because where will you be and what will it look like when you're 39? And where are you going to be? I want you to be a leader in that industry, a titan. How about our children are titans, but they won't be. Not with this baby boomer antiquated logic and approach to everything. Education. Remember what I said about the tablets and how they treat the kids with the cell phones in the school? Put your cell phone away. This baby boomer chalkboard style of education in 2025, while we have Web 3.0, quantum computer, and the blockchain, I got some baby boomer, fat, overweight, telling my child to put away the cell phone, put away the iPhone. My iPhone puts you away. My iPhone, Miss Susan, puts you away. What do you know? And I can tell you with my iPhone, everything you know and everything you ain't never gonna learn and everything you couldn't have learned is in my iPhone. Miss Susan, it's in this iPhone you keep telling me to put away. But I love you. I love you. I'm not mad at you. I'm a podcast host, so I get passionate, and I should have been a preacher. A lot of men like me should have been in church, and I should have been a preacher. But what happened to the black church? What happened to the black family? What happened to the black father? I should have been a preacher. Y'all would be in my church right now, and you would be donating. I would pass around the collection plate, and your ass would put some money in the collection plate, or your ass would not be welcome in the church. So y'all think this shit's supposed to be for free. This shit ain't free. You got to pay for the pastor. I need food. And these evil people on the internet laugh at you. Oh, he wants a super chat. Oh, he wants an he wants a cash app. You just begging. I need to eat, motherfucker. Sometimes this internet shit. Hey, get him out of here. The wolf, fuck you, wolf. Get him out of here. Fuck you, wolf. Get him out of here. Where you thought you was at, wolf? Get him out of here forever. Fuck you, wolf. It's gonna come back and bite us as Americans. You know, I have a niece right now, got a job that could change her life. I have a zillennial niece right now, early 20s, just got a job that could change her life for the rest of her life. She quit. Did you hear what I said? She didn't want to do it. She don't know that these opportunities don't come. You know how women see a good man and don't marry him and be like, oh, I'll get him. And then that same woman is an old biddy because she thought that she could just go out and get a man whenever she wanted. A lot of young, they think they could just go get that job again. Oh, I'm ready now. It won't be there. Y'all see, the zillennials don't even know. When we discuss immigration, 10 million people coming into the country, the zillennials are the ones. Joshua Jan is 20 years old. Joshua Jan is shooting at ICE. ICE is trying to protect your ability to have a job and a life, bro. Joshua Jan, 20-year-old young white man. Think about this, bro, how perverted the world we live in. Joshua Jan, young white male shooting at ICE, who are U.S. citizens, look like you. Most of them white men look like you, doing a federal job to get immigrants who did not come here properly out of the country so that you have an opportunity to work. When you get ready to have a job, when you're 27, 28, for some reason, y'all all live with y'all parents, you're 20 years old. That's why they doing all this stuff. Just like Tyler Robinson lived with his parents. I had a job at 16. I had a car at 16. I could not be Tyler Robinson. I had a child. How many of us had a baby at 21, 22, 23 and was married with your own apartment, building a life? I wasn't living at home with my mama. Joshua Jan living at home. Tyler, they all living at home. That's why they got time to be online. The guy who shot Trump in the ear, everybody living at home in single parent households with all this time on their hand. They don't got to go to work. They ain't got to buy gas. They ain't got to buy food, clothes, but they got guns and bullets. Can we have a real talk? They don't got to go to work. They ain't got to buy gas, but they got a goddamn rifle. Why does Tyler Robinson with this transgender boyfriend have a place to live? Why does he have food? Why does he have money? And why would a degenerate, jobless have a rifle? You don't need a rifle. You need a job. Why do you have a rifle? A high power. My grandfather gave. Your grandfather, who is rich, your daddy, who is rich, should have gave you a job. Your parents gave you an apartment to live in. You are so rich and wealthy, your parents gave you an apartment to live in with your transgender boyfriend. Neither one of you work. Neither one of you work. Do y'all understand how and why we get here? Do y'all see how and why we get here? It was his it's the same. It's the same. I live in an affluent white area. And all the time, it's the same. I see white people who don't go to work in my neighborhood. How many people can speak to this? Because they inherit money from their grandparents. There are a lot of white men who in my neighborhood that don't work, that don't do shit. And this is true. And in most of the suburban areas that I go, they got boats, they got houses. But they white grandfathers who were racist and benefited from racism, can we say it? The white grandfathers who were racist and benefited from racism have all the spoils of war. And in 2025, those white men are inheriting those spoils of racist war. The houses, the land, the money. Tyler Robinson, just to make some people understand what I'm saying. Do you understand Tyler Robinson was going to be very wealthy? How many people, Elaine, can someone explain it in the chat what I'm saying? How wealthy was Tyler Robinson going to be at 39? Elaine is 39, right? What am I getting at? His grandfather is a multimillionaire. His father is beginning to be a millionaire. Tyler Robinson inherits everything from his baby boomer grandfather and his dad. If Tyler Robinson doesn't do this dumb thing, he never has to work. He gets to live off of them his entire 20s and 30s, have his transgender walk, and maybe come back to being heterosexual. But by the time Tyler Robinson would have become 40, 45, he would be a multimillionaire, inheriting property, millions, stocks from his grandfather, father, and mother. How many people understand that about America? How many people get that? Elaine, can you explain it to him? Do y'all understand that? His grandfather was wealthy, owned property. His father was wealthy, owned property. What happens to that property? It all goes to Tyler Robinson. And I live in a neighborhood where I see it happen in real life. That's why it came in my head when Elaine said that. I live in a neighborhood with an HOA. My neighbors are these individuals, and their grandfather and father pass away, and they become multimillionaires overnight, and they've never had to do shit. We don't know it would go to him, but let's be honest, it probably would have. Yeah, no. Tyler has siblings. Bro, here's Tyler has siblings. So, yeah, they would have had to split the money. But think about it. I'm just painting a picture of a reality that a lot of people are leaving out. Understanding. So if you interject that, some of us might say, why would Tyler? Because why would Tyler be upset? Why would Tyler do it? You know what else I learned? The father and the sheriff helped Tyler turn himself in. I believe I heard Tyler's dad is not in his life. I believe they said Tyler Robinson's parents are not married. Let me ask. How's my audio? Kirk was not racist. Come on, you guys. It's Friday. Kirk was not. Come on, man. Blexit. Candace Owens and Kirk created Blexit. A lot of the talking points you're referring to were Blexit talking points, and they were based in fact and reality. If you've come to my channel, you've heard me discuss Washington, D.C. and Chicago to nauseam. And all I'm doing when I'm discussing D.C. and Chicago is giving you Blexit talking points. Bruce Wayne the Gray in the building. Shout out to Bruce Wayne Gray in the building. So all you have is Blexit talking points from Charlie. Charlie loved black people. He's a child of God. He loved all God's people. Candace Owens just played a video of a black dude who was part of Turning Point USA who was with him in the Hamptons. I bet y'all was surprised about that. Charlie Kirk had black close friends, and the black close friends were with him in the Hamptons. Black close friends like Candace Owens, who took his credit card and booked the flight to the UK. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens created Blexit together to help get black Democrats who were hypnotized by the DNC and explain to them that you have not received anything. The same thing the Young Turks, populist Democrats, said to 20 other Democrats in their Jubilee 20v1. Chink of the Young Turks said, why don't the Democrats implement the platform that would benefit you young people and you minorities? All Blexit says is, why are you voting for a DNC that does not implement the platform that would actually help you? Do not vote for them anymore. That's what Blexit is saying. The same thing the Young Turks tried to explain. He said, I'm a populist Democrat. You're not a populist Democrat. You're conservative. And you should have told them to vote Republican. And you should have told them, why are you voting Democrat when they don't do anything for you? That's Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens' arguments for black Democrats. You are a black Democrat. Why are you voting Democrat? What have they done for you lately? The minimum wage, if raised federally, would directly, adversely, disproportionately help lift you out of poverty. The Democrats are supposed to be for blacks, right? The Democrats are supposed to be for minorities and poor people, right? Well, if they would have raised the minimum wage, and they've been in power 12 out of the last 14 years, if they would have raised the minimum wage, that would disproportionately, positively affect blacks, minorities, and low income. They never did it. Barack Obama, 8 years, never raised the minimum wage. Joe Biden, 4 years, 12 years altogether, never raised the minimum wage. Made you get upset over social issues while your pockets stayed slim. You stayed stagnant for 15 years. $7 an hour, your quality of life never budged, but they wanted you to care about an immigrant life. They wanted you to care about a gay life. They wanted you to care about a black life for those white men who were losing money, losing their family. They want you to care about black women, care about gays, care about everybody but you, your kitchen table, and your pocketbook. That's what the Democrats told you for 12 fucking years. Fuck you, white man. Fuck you, white man. You have to care about black women, gays, and all this social shit, whether they got tampons in the bathroom. But as far as your wages, as far as the coal mine, as far as the factory, as far as the Tyson chicken plant, as far as you being able to make money off of your crops, fuck you, white man. And they really meant it. They're killing white men. They really meant fuck you, white man. They really meant I hate Trump. They really meant this shit. They really meant I hate Charlie Kirk. I think a lot of y'all, see, MAGA knew the climate. MAGA knew the climate. We saw them try to kill our president 3 times. MAGA, they really meant this shit, bro. I know you think I'm just yelling at the screen. I know you think I'm just yelling at the screen. He just yelling at the screen, yelling at the screen. They really meant it, bro. Today you cannot fuck with me. Today you got to admit they really meant that shit. Tyler Robinson said it online. Joshua Jan said it online. They meant that shit, bro, and they acting on it, bro. They are standing on business. Enough with the damn trolls. They meant it and they are standing on business. Why are you laughing and trolling his dead bodies across America? They shot in the ABC in Sacramento. That was this week. They killed 3 people in Dallas ICE. That was this week. Why the trolls? Why the laughter? What's so damn fucking funny? Why would a young white man in America who has a future, why would a young white man who has a future, he's going to inherit money and houses from his grandparents, and why would he do this? Why would a young white man in Dallas want to instill terror at 20-something years old? Joshua Jan wrote he wanted the ICE agents to be terrorized. You too young. You too young. Why at 20? Who told you? What did you learn online that you want to terrorize ICE agents as a 20-something year old? You understand what I'm saying? That's kind of funny. Jimmy Kimmel's and bits. That's kind of good. I wish I would have thought of that. Y'all hear what I said yesterday about Jimmy Kimmel? You hear what I said yesterday about Jimmy Kimmel? Delusional patriots. You know what I said yesterday about Jimmy Kimmel? I said Jimmy Kimmel, Gavin Newsom, and Barack Obama are wuss, and they cause violence. Because Jimmy Kimmel, Barack Obama, and Gavin Newsom stoked the flames and they lied. They wanted to frame the debate as Jimmy Kimmel and there was a freedom of speech. It wasn't. That's why we have radical left, and that's why we have left-wing violence, because of liars like Gavin Newsom, Jimmy Kimmel, and Barack Obama. Give me some time to cook. Let me cook. This was my argument about Jimmy Kimmel and Barack Obama, Gavin Newsom. They said First Amendment. I gave the example of Louis C.K. I said, I'm thankful no one questions my loyalty to Charlie Kirk, but you can tell who knows Charlie Kirk and who don't. I said, I found Charlie Kirk through Steven Crowder, through Blexit. I really watched Charlie Kirk before he died. Lucky Lady T, you back. So I said, Louis C.K. I said, I'm the whitest person in my house. My wife is Sicilian. My wife always teases me. She said, you whiter than me. And it's true. My wife don't know who Louis C.K. is. But Louis C.K. had a TV show on Showtime and HBO years ago, before he got canceled, before he did the perverted stuff. He's one of my favorite comedians, and he got a TV show. We all was excited. We watched it. It was great. It got canceled. Louis C.K. did not complain and say, First Amendment, my First Amendment rights, my First Amendment right. No, sometimes shows get canceled, like Jimmy Kimmel got canceled, right? So Louis C.K. said, I'm going to record my show. I'm going to pay the actors, pay the cameraman, record my show, give it away for free. They didn't take away my voice. They didn't take away my ability. HBO just said they don't want to work with me. They have a right to say that. Jimmy Kimmel, ABC has a right to say they don't want to work with you, okay? Axios say they don't want to work. So HBO said they don't want to work with Louis C.K. Louis C.K. recorded his show himself. So thank you for the super chat. Please acknowledge your enemy is the evil one. They will try to divide races. They are doing it. Today, my son is biracial. Mine too. You trying to flirt with me? You trying to flirt with me with that good red hair? Don't flirt. I like me some red. Don't flirt with me with that red thing. At fire crotch. I went to high school with white kids. The white boys call it fire. Don't flirt with me with that. And you're looking beautiful in the thumbnail. Don't. You're 39. I'm 50. I know that thing. Woo, don't play with me. Don't play with me. And Ashley, look at Ashley said hi. I still love you, Ashley. I love you. I love all of y'all. I love y'all. Okay, listen though. Listen. Louis C.K. recorded his show, and Louis C.K. gave away his show for free. The show got so popular online that HBO hired him back and then put the show out because they were losing money in advertising. What happened with Jimmy Kimmel is Axios and ABC began to lose money in advertising because Jimmy Kimmel wasn't profitable or marketable anymore. Louis C.K. left HBO and then made a profitable, marketable show, and HBO had to beg him to come back because they were losing dollars because he wasn't there. It was the adverse with Jimmy Kimmel. With Jimmy Kimmel still on the air at Axios affiliates, they were unable to sell ads. So Axios put out a statement, not Brendan Carr. We read the statement. See, everybody who's on the left wing that's been radicalized and hypnotized, they only take in the left wing bullet points. They don't get the whole picture. They hear Brandon Carr, Trump appointed Brandon Carr. Well, the CEO of Axios, who still won't let Jimmy Kimmel back on his affiliates, put out a statement. And he said it ain't got shit to do with Trump. It ain't got shit to do with none of that shit. It ain't even got shit to do with Charlie Kirk. I am taking Jimmy Kimmel off the air because this dumbass said something that was untimely, that was perceived as insensitive. Jimmy Kimmel himself had to admit, I understand why you perceived it to be insensitive because it was not timely. So Axios said, fuck Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel knew what he was doing. He said that shit at the bad time, and you fuck with Axios money. Anybody grew up in the hood, you fuck with Axios money, Jimmy Kimmel. That's what happened. Hey, thank you, baby. Love you too. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. That's my beautiful white wife right there. She just brought me some food. Did you hear her voice? It's so nice. It's like Leave It to Beaver. And she said, I haven't heard fire crotch in like 20 years. You know why I know that, right? Because I like it. I love it. I crave it. I know what Let me be quiet. I heard fire cry. After a while, crocodile. See you later, alligator. So my argument about Jimmy Kimball, Gavin Newsom, and Obama stoking the left was Louis C.K. Jimmy Kimball, number one, he made an ill-fitting statement that affected advertising. Number two, it wasn't freedom of speech because like Louis C.K. and like Tucker Carlson, listen to this, everybody listening, like Louis C.K., like Tucker, like Megyn Kelly, like Bill O'Reilly, hello, don't this makes more sense? Because it happened on the right. See, you know what's missing from this conversation, Gavin, Obama? Everything that you guys did to the right. Nobody brought Bill O'Reilly back on the air. Nobody brought Tucker Carlson back on the air. No one brought Megyn Kelly back on the air. Who owns the other one? The other comedian, he got fired from Fox. He got another, what's the other guy? Not Bill O'Reilly, but the other guy that got fired from Fox. He's online now. You know the guy with the square head. He's online now. All of those guys got fired from Fox, went online, created online presence, and now they're doing great. They never whined and cried and told right-wingers to be radical and be violent because the left took away my constitutional first right amendment. Hello, are you listening? Bill O'Reilly, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly. What's the other dude? Man? Nah, man, on the right. Man, not Breitbart. Man, he popular as hell too. I can't remember his name, man. He got white hair now. He got kicked off of Fox. He was the big dog after Bill O'Reilly was popular. Then it was him. Y'all remember, not Joe. Glenn Beck. Why you didn't say the whole name? Yep, Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck is the guy I'm thinking about. He got kicked off of Fox and then had to create his own. No, Jon Stewart quit. Glenn, I'm talking about right-wingers. I'm talking about right-wingers that were canceled in juxtaposed to Jimmy Kimball. Jimmy Kimball cried. He's all emotional. First Amendment, Donald Trump is evil. Gavin Newsom whining on Colbert couch and someone got shot the next day. Obama whining, talking about Jimmy Kimball, First Amendment. What the hell wrong with you, dog? And the truth of the matter is, they leave out context. Hey, you cancel Glenn Beck. Hey, you canceled Tucker. You canceled Megyn. You canceled Bill O'Reilly. None of them bitched and whined and said it was First Amendment. Nobody on the right bitched and whined and tried to gin up hate and violence. They went out and did what Republicans and capitalists do. They created a brand new platform. Glenn Beck is way more successful. Tucker Carlson, way more successful than Fox. I argue Glenn Beck, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly are doing better on YouTube. They have more viewers, they have more influence, they have a larger voice. Why didn't Jimmy Kimball? They were silenced, I agree. Why didn't Jimmy Kimball do what they did? Why did Jimmy Kimball and the left try to make you upset and hate Trump? Why is the goal of the left always, yeah, it's Trump's fault. Yeah, they taking something from you. You know, people get upset when you take from them. How do we explain to the Democrats to stop doing this? How do we explain to the Democrats to stop stoking fear? People get afraid and people get upset when you threaten them and you threaten to take something from them. Gavin Newsom, Obama, stop fucking doing that, bro. Stop fucking insinuating that Trump is taking something from someone. You are fucking lying. Stop fucking doing that. You are causing the issues. No one is taking nothing. Trump did not take shit from Jimmy Kimball. Jimmy Kimball could have come to YouTube like every fucking body else. Stop doing that. It's sick. It's sick. You know what else though? No one else has given you this truth. Because I don't know if they don't watch Glenn Beck. I don't know if they didn't watch Megyn Kelly. I don't know if they didn't watch Tucker Carlson. But it's like the Dems just forget, oh, yeah, we did cancel a bunch of right-wingers during the last administration. Oh, yeah, we did cancel, and we preyed on Tucker Carlson's downfall. We preyed on Tucker Carlson's downfall. We prayed that Tucker Carlson would not be successful. They forgot they did that. They got Jimmy Kimmel crying. Jimmy Kimmel made fun of everybody I'm talking about. Jimmy Kimmel made fun of Glenn Beck getting fired. Jimmy Kimmel made fun of Tucker Carlson getting fired. He don't get to cry. Crocodile tears. Crocodile tears. Jimmy Kimmel made fun of all the right-wingers as they lost their voice. And this guy thinks he gets to cry and blame First Amendment and Trump. Nah, man. Nah, man. Jimmy Kimmel's part of the problem. Straight up. If he was a man, he would have did like Tucker. If he was a man, he would have did like Tucker, and he would have went and created his own boat and told people they could stop me, but they can't. They could try, but they didn't stop me, and show resilience to American youth. They had to have distraction from the love of Jesus. Jeff Haycraft. So say that. Thank you, everybody. That was my last little rant right there. A couple people was talking about Jimmy Kimmel. I just want to share because they look like some new people. They might not have been here yesterday to hear my perspective on Jimmy Kimmel. Just because I doubt he can do like Tucker because he's locked into a... Yeah. Bad things happen to bad people. Well, that's a shitty thing to say. Are you trolling? It's always somebody who want to troll. And it's always a fucking idiot with some elementary bullshit. I've been saying all of this high-level shit and your elementary ass coming here with that shit. Bad things happen to bad people. Motherfucker, you in 4th grade? Fuck wrong with you. Bad things happen to good people all day. You know the story of Job? Do you know the story of Job? Do you know the story of Job? Job was devout. And God and the devil had a conversation, and God told the devil, you can't make Job curse me. And the devil said, I bet I can make Job curse you. Job was a good man, an honest, God-fearing, loyal man. So loyal, so God-fearing, so good that he found himself in this predicament. Go sit your 12-year-old ass down somewhere. Bad things happen to bad people. See, trolls is fucking idiot. You an idiot and a clown and a piece of shit lower than dirt. Who you thought you was talking to? You don't know the story of Job? It's a parable. It's a parable. You know what that is? No, you don't know anything. Trolls don't know shit. That's why they act the violence. I promise you, if they had more knowledge, only dumb people resort to violence so quickly. They're fucking idiots. Only dumb people resort. But if you had more intelligence, more knowledge, if you read a fucking book, you would not be out here saying stupid shit and acting out violently. Bad things happen to bad people like we in the 3rd grade. You don't know the story of Job? Have you ever read it? It's not short. Some parables in the Bible. When I've read Job, I used to be a preacher, and one of my parishioners asked me to do a sermon on Job. So I reread it. You know what though? Do you know what I took away the most from rereading Job? How long and monotonous it was. It was 2 things I took away. Job was long. I didn't know it was that long, and I didn't know how many people was like today. Job is so relevant to today with social media and trolls and haters. Because Job, God was so upset at the end because God-fearing men who were supposed to be friends of God and Job were poor friends. You know how people online don't donate super chat? They think it's funny. They think I'm begging. Like I don't deserve to be compensated for giving you the information. That's what Job was facing. Fair weather friends. If I say super chat, everybody should hit the super chat. Everybody got $2. Everybody watching should super chat $2 to show appreciation. But everybody came to see Job and talk shit like y'all do in my chat. Hey, Job, if you had more faith, God would remove your affliction. Fuck you. Hey, Job. And none of these people were as blessed as Job and as loyal to Job before his affliction. But once Job was afflicted, all of these fair weather friends in the Bible, I kept reading. I'm like, damn, all these people came by. Nobody prayed for him. Nobody really helped him. They all like pointed and tried to give advice like in my chat. You're not the host. You don't have a YouTube channel with thousands of views. Why are you in my chat like acting like a friend to Job? Trying to tell me and help me. You not me. You ain't really helping me. You don't really want the best for me. And what I found so powerful about Job is how upset the Lord was with those fair weather friends. You know how you don't know this story because you ain't read it. You know that Job got increased at the end, right? But do you know how Job was increased? The Lord told all of those fake ass friends, you got to give Job everything. You got 10 sheep, he get 9, you keep 1. You got 10 cattle, he get 9, you keep 1. That's how Job became a wealthy man at the end. And God said, let me find out you don't follow what I said. And whatever happened to Job is going to be 10 times. That was the most powerful thing about that story. I thought Job had affliction, and then at the end, God gave him a bunch of stuff. No, that's not what happened. Job got afflicted, and God allowed him to stay in his affliction so that he could bless him. But not only that, he could deal with a lot of things all at once. Job was blessed because God told those fair weather friends, give him all your shit. Because when you came to counsel him, you did not give counsel in the way that I taught you. Thank you, Patty, for the $2 super chat. That should let you know about being a fake friend. There are consequences for your trolling. There are consequences for your trolling. I am protected by God. God loves me. Like 50 Cent said, I'm God's favorite. There are consequences for your trolling. Biblical parables are always talking about what's done in the dark will be coming to the light. Shout out to Julian Assange. You know what's so great about the James Comey indictment? That Julian Assange is free. Julian Assange of WikiLeaks is free. Ozzy Cosby with the $2. Y'all heard what I said. Y'all heard what I said, man. Salute to y'all for the love, man. Everybody got $2, man. If I pass around the collection plate, I don't want all of the trolls in the chat to be calling me a bum. If I pass around the collection plate, I want all the church members to donate $1, $2. So all of the trolls in the chat know, nah, man, he ain't no bum. He not begging. He deserves to be compensated. Just like you. That's what MAGA is about, bro. That's what MAGA is about. Jimmy Kimmel Show just got fired by Nexstar. So Axios and Nexstar. Not Brendan Carr, not Trump, not First Amendment. When I start my podcast, I say, follow community guidelines. How many people know that? Paul, about what we read about Axios, about Nexstar. No one can make Axios and Nexstar lose money. We are in capitalism. How many people truly understand the way this shit works? We are in capitalism. Trump is a big dog, but everybody wants to be the big dog on the block. So I'm not losing money for you, Trump. I love you. I respect you. But I'm telling you, the CEO of Axios and the CEO of Nexstar is not going to be beholden to their shareholders and lose money for their shareholders for nobody. Disney lost $3 billion, bro. Come on, can we talk about it, Paul? What really happened, Paul? And what did Kimball say when he returned? Thank you, Mrs. Perfect Timing, for the super chat. We passing around the collection plate. What did he say on his return? Subscribe to Disney Plus. They lost $3 billion. Do you think Axios or Nexstar wants to take the hit that Disney took? This is not partisan. Do you know Nexstar and Axios don't care about Charlie Kirk, about Trump, about Republican, about Democrat? This is business. This is capitalism. Do you think Nexstar and Axios would lose money for Trump? I'm saying, do you think they would keep Jimmy Kimmel on the air and lose the ability to advertise on the show just so they could be? No, that's not happening. It's capitalism. Axios' decision was based on money and market. Nexstar decision is based on money and market. That's not Brendan Carr. They are not. Axios and Nexstar don't fear reprisal from the FCC. Axios and Nexstar are not making the decision to take Jimmy Kimmel off of the affiliates because they feel reprisal from the FCC and Brendan Carr. It was about bottom line, and Jimmy Kimmel knew it. Just like when Louis C.K. got canceled on HBO. It's the same. That's why I use that analogy. When you go to the barbershop, bring up Louis C.K. and how Louis C.K. recorded his show for free and gave it away for free. Bring up Glenn Beck, bring up Tucker, bring up Megyn Kelly, bring up all of the right wingers who were canceled in the same way Jimmy Kimmel was. But everybody doesn't have the proper full context. Next time you're at the barbershop and you're having a debate about Jimmy Kimmel, bring up the right wingers who went through the exact same thing and what they did. Happy Friday! Happy Friday! Jeffrey Patton has a question. Go ahead, Jeffrey, because I just seen Ozzy with the wrench of destruction, and I want to hear your question while Ozzy is right there. So if you say something foolish, Ozzy could handle that tool. What you got, Jeffrey? I want to hear it. What you got, Jeffrey? The wrench of destruction. TGIF. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I've been on here a few times and I'm with you. Thank you, Jeffrey. What's the question? Don't get scared. Get it out. You obviously been working on it for 2 hours. If you got a joke, if you got a troll, get it out. I tell people there's consequences, man, in life. If you got something good to add. If it's a funny joke, then we gonna laugh. Hey, Ozzy, today again, somebody about the ears. Before I got started, my nose, I was like, everybody talk about the ears. What about this big bell pepper right here? What about this big bell pepper? Everybody today, yesterday and today, the ears, he said, dude could hear God. That was funny. They used to say that to me in school. Like I said, fire crotch. That's one of the things I would get in school. You could hear God. So I got that today. That was funny. But I'm like, what about this big bell pepper? I'm not insecure about my ears. I'm insecure about my nose, but no one ever brings up the nose. So I love you guys. I'm like, they talk about the ears. What about this big bell pepper right here? Real talk, sir. Never scared, brother. Only God is to be feared, and I don't joke, sir. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm happy you here, bro. You're welcome. And even if you disagree, you're welcome. Just the disrespect will not be tolerated. I'm happy you here. God bless you. God bless your family. I pray a covering over you and your loved ones. And you're welcome, brother. And you don't have to agree to be here because that's not what America's about. All this, everyone talks about us, period. No doubt, Trump over Biden and the black woman. Come on. You gonna get me in trouble. Is she black? Is she black? I didn't know she was black. It's okay if she's black. I love you. I love you. Is she black? I didn't know she was black. You got to say it like Trump. Trump added in this inflection. Is she black? I didn't know she was black. It's okay if she's black. That's going to go down in history. It's okay if she's black. I didn't know she was black. Is she black? She's black. It's okay if she's black. Like, what does that mean, Trump? Trump, I love you so much. Like, I love it. That was the best comment. Just the best. He's the best. It's okay if she's black. Like, why wouldn't it be okay? It's just like, is she black? I didn't know she was black. It's okay if she's black. Okay. I do agree, brother. Is them, and then there's them. You are right. She's 100%, brother, and absolutely Trump nailed it on here. Race, etc. We have to stand together as people, period, brother. They are all the same. I agree. We all the same. We all the same. I talk about that a lot. And we all went to high school together. Look at J.D. Vance, bro. You know what I like about me being 50 and all of the old people, the old fogey, J.D. Vance, bro. J.D. Vance, raised in a single-parent home by his grandma, middle America, just a white boy, a regular old white boy, not a billionaire, not from New York, not from San Francisco or L.A., regular old white boy. And he is in a mixed marriage with multiracial children. How are we not just amazed by where America has gotten? Like, why do they want us to hate each other and not just be happy and proud of where we are? J.D. Vance, regular white boy, on welfare, grandmother raised him, scholarship. His wife is from another place, multiracial kid. He looks like America. What did my girl say in the chat, Firecrotch? She said her son is biracial. Well, guess who else kids are biracial? The Vice President, J.D. Vance. Guess who else kids are biracial? The Vice President, J.D. Vance. The next President of the United States, J.D. Vance. Well, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. We can't talk about America being a melting pot, all of us being the same, all of us mixing together, all of us loving each other despite race, color, creed, or religion, because we have freedom of religion. You can be J.D. Vance is probably one religion, his wife, family, another religion. Charlie Kirk was Christian, his wife was Catholic. That would never happen anywhere else. Christians and Catholics supposed to fight each other. They got married. J.D. Vance is one religion. His wife is another religion. They got married. See, in America, magic happens. In America, it's the greatest place on earth. It's the greatest place on earth. Only in America. Only in America. Vance DeSantis. No, I said Vance Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's going to be Vance Green. A lot of people don't like DeSantis, but we have to have women in leadership going forward. It's no more room for just men. It's not a boys' club anymore. So the ticket from now on both sides need to reflect minorities and women. No more two white men on the ticket ever again. So it's going to be Vance and Green. You hear me? And it's so hard. It's so hard to say goodbye to 28. Who can beat Vance and Green? Vance is on the MAGA side. Green is a Republican who has sucked up the few Democratic talking points that they have. Marjorie Taylor Greene was on Capitol Hill looking gorgeous next to the Democrats talking about the Epstein files. So if we were worried about the Epstein files as a Republican, don't worry, we got Marjorie Taylor Greene. So you got Vance on the MAGA and Green on the SAGA. We can't be beat. We can't be beat. Marjorie Taylor Greene already start. Neither of those two are likable. Not to you. Did you see? See, you're not even speaking to my point. Did you see MTG looking gorgeous next to the Democrats? Do you know what I said that day? I said the Democrats are idiots. The Democrats give away the election. The Democrats had one talking point. You had one job. The Democrats, you had one job. Epstein files. You idiots allow the most beautiful, the most outspoken Republican to stand next to you. That was stupid. Marjorie Taylor Greene stole the whole press conference. Marjorie Taylor Greene stole the whole press conference. She looked it better than the victims. You know what was the headlines the next day? Marjorie Taylor Greene on the side of the Epstein victims. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a Republican. Y'all sleep. But no one, see, you saying DeSantis, by the time you wake up, it's going to be like Mike Tyson. The Democrats going to be knocked out. By the time you wake up to realize how influential MTG is and a JD Vance ticket, it's going to be too late. Y'all going to be trying to do some October surprise again because you're going to be so behind in the polls. You're going to be so behind in the polls when you realize it doesn't matter. The vice presidential debate is not. Do you remember JD Vance debate? Diller, I'm being straight up. I'm giving you the floor. I'm giving you the floor. Do you remember name influential, insecure vice presidential debate? And I am laughing. I mean that in the most disrespectful way. I hope you take this as disrespect. You hear me? I am disrespecting you. I'm making fun of you right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm making fun of you. Name an influential vice presidential debate. Name a vice presidential debate that you even remember, bro. Look, he goes, get him out of here. He's a troll. Get him out of here. He's a troll. Lawrence guy, hey, I ain't seen you in a minute. There won't be any more poll. Get him out of here. He's a troll. Get him out of here. He's a troll. Get him out of here with that stupid name. Get him out of here. He's a troll. Get him out of here forever. Diddler, you're gone. Get him out of here. Clown. Clown. All right, you guys, we over 2 hours on a Friday. This week, I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to my members and moderators. I had a hard day yesterday. We got attacked by bots. If you go look on my channel, you're going to see crypto scams in my comments. Please, nobody buy that cryptocurrency. Those are bots. That's a scam. The only reason it's still there is because I'm reporting it to YouTube, but I want to have evidence for YouTube. But we got attacked yesterday by crypto bots, and we got attacked by a lot of evil people. It kind of got to me because Charlie Kirk's has really hit me really very hard because I'm a father of a young child, 2 young kids. So it's been hard. It's been hard. It's not been easy doing this content. And we got beat up pretty bad yesterday. So I just want to say thank you to my members and moderators. You work very hard, and thank you for your love and your support. And I don't know if other content creators, I don't see it, but I love being appreciative. That's how I was raised, you know. So the last thing I want to say is God bless everybody in the chat, but a special thank you to my members and my moderators for having my back and standing with me through that time. And I know a lot of you probably thought I would not go live today because yesterday I got treated so bad, but because of you, thank you, Patty. Thank you, Patty. Because of you guys, I went live today, even though I was hurt. I was hurt. I'm a human being. I'm a Leo. You know, Leos are emotional. But I want to say thank you to my members and moderators for supporting me and Fathers Need Rights. God bless. Thank you. I want to say thank you. I'll sub. Thank you for your sub. So thank you to my members and moderators. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday morning. We're Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. So like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you Monday morning at 11 a.m. Bless you too, Jeffrey. God bless the chat. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. God bless the memory of Charlie Kirk. And God bless those kids and Erica Kirk. I'll pray a covering over Charlie Kirk's children and his wife and family, his mother and father. He's young, his mother, father, and grandparent. See, Charlie Kirk is not just Charlie. You know, he got a wife, he got kids, he has parents, he has siblings, and it's a lot of people that was hurt. A lot of people that was hurt. I know I've been through it. In the inner city, I've had my little cousin be murdered. I've dealt with murder, and people don't understand the ripples throughout the entire family. It creates a fissure within the family. So I pray for the Kirk family. I ask you to pray for the Kirk family. I'm sorry. Get a little choked up. I pray for the Kirk family. I ask you to pray for the Kirk family. I love you guys. Thank you, YouTube, for protecting the channel. That shit was scary when they attacked us yesterday. After everything, I was taken back. So thank you, YouTube, for protecting the channel. Thank you to the moderators and the members. I love you guys. Y'all don't know how much it means because it's dangerous out here right now. So you guys mean everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't say thank you enough. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, Ramona. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. Your support means everything to me and my wife and my kids, the channel, the platform. Somebody said that we're going to be big. And I just want to say to all of the people who are members and moderators, I can't wait for all of us. You know, because a lot what happens when the channel blows up, the moderators become as famous as the hosts. Because a lot of people get to see the same names as moderators and members in the chat. And they get to know Ozzy, they get to know Lazy Bones, they get to know Bruce Wayne the Gray, they get to know Relax and Talk Sports, and then they start looking for them in other places. So I'm excited, you guys. Ozzy Cosby, I'm excited. And I want to say thank you, and I love you, and y'all have a great weekend.